Candioty.
Thank you. And I want to first say thank you to RFMA and Debbie and Jen and all the people from RFMA for putting on such a great show and for putting on such a big stage that makes me look smaller and shorter. So thank you very much. For as long as there have been restaurants, there's been used cooking oil. In the past, once the oil had been used to cook delicious foods, it had no other purpose and was a headache for restaurants to dispose of responsibly. But rendering companies, who for over a century had been collecting and recycling animal byproducts, soon realized that the oil too could be recycled. They began picking it up from restaurants and food service facilities, and today, used cooking oil is being recycled into the base ingredients for everything from biofuel, animal feed, and to your makeup. Not your makeup, Rod, but makeup in general. Renders recycle used cooking oil, or UCO, into a substance called yellow grease. UCO is used as a high-energy feed additive in various livestock rations. It's also used to manufacture soap, makeup, paint, rubber, detergents, and biofuels. Rendering companies process UCO from hundreds of thousands of restaurants, hotels, schools, hospitals, casinos, industrial kitchens throughout the country, essentially anywhere where food is served away from home. And they provide then the yellow grease to biodiesel production facilities and livestock holdings around the world. The industrial need for yellow grease has created a market for the product from coast to coast. Depending on the market need, the product's value can rise or fall, often creating added income for restaurants as renderers compensate for the collected UCO when the market is high enough to warrant a payment. This is the gold you can find in your kitchen. The quantity and quality of the collected commodity, of the UCO, as well as the national market values, often dictate what the used oil is worth. And if a restaurant may get compensated for this product, it's based on those parameters. Currently, the used cooking oil market's at a low point, but creeping up a little by little. And one reason is that less is being exported right now to foreign countries that use it for fuel more than in the US based on their purchase need. As a matter of fact, in Germany, 85% of the country is run on biofuel. In recent years, the agricultural crops of corn and soybeans in particular have been so great that biofuel companies can purchase raw, unused oil for often less than having to process and refine the used fryer oil. This makes the used oil market a little less impactful. There have been many times when the market has reached levels whereby the cost of collecting and processing the oil is higher than the resale value of the oil, making a pickup charge for regular collection necessary. There are many reasons why kitchens should use there are many reasons why a kitchen should recycle their used cooking oil, and here are the top 6 benefits to you as a facility operator. 1, you can, you might, maybe get paid for your UCO. Restaurants that have their UCO picked up may get paid for disposing of their waste. Oil that is reused as a feedstock yields approximately as much in biofuel. For example, 1 gallon of cooking oil can be converted into about 1 gallon of biodiesel fuel. So for every gallon collected, you're helping to create a brand new fuel source here and around the world. So remember though, the market bears the fruit of possible payments. Right now, that fruit isn't looking quite so ripe, but it's getting there. One upside to a lower market is that less grease is getting stolen from units around the country. When the market was at its highest point about 5-6 years ago, grease was being stolen in the night by thieves, and they were hell-bent to sell it at any price, to the mostly fly-by-night biofuel converters who didn't care where the fresh stock came from. Benefit number 2, you help prevent blockages. It is said that more than half of the sewage blockages in the US are caused by incorrect oil disposal, such as dumping the waste down the drains. Restaurants that recycle their UCO help to maintain a clean environment by providing sewer backups. Restaurants that store and recycle used oil also avoid the accidents and cleanliness issues. And there are dozens of styles of equipment for the collection and storage of the grease. And many of you in here are already using many of those different choices for the grease collection. From the large indoor or outdoor bulk tanks to the smaller mobile units for restaurants that produce less grease. However, there are some who have issues understanding processes and following directions in the proper storage and handling of the used oil as these next couple of slides are going to present. Let me point out that the slides indicate possible dangers to your employees, but also to your vendor company collecting the grease. What you'll see in these containers will possibly damage very, very expensive vacuum pumping equipment, or at very least cause serious hose damages and stoppages that will require excessive time and energy to complete the stop, which could translate to other issues between your kitchen and the service company. Then, of course, those costs are going to find their way up to your desk. So, here we go. This presents a little issue for a vendor to pick up and find his tank in all of your storage facility, wherever you may be storing the tank. These are actual photos that were taken before a driver collected and pumped the grease. Okay? Now, how that person or how somebody was able to lose all of this stuff is anybody's guess. So, I know it's not pretty, but it's amusing to see, but hard to believe that any employee could think that this is not a problem for others. Unfortunately, in their mind, they drop it in the tank, it disappears. No problem. Now, number 3 benefit. UCO is beneficial to the environment. Approximately 10 billion pounds of fat and oils are collected in this country annually. 10 billion. That in by itself is a huge number when you consider it. But consider where all that material would have gone if not collected by companies to convert it into other usable products and renewable energy such as biodiesel. And when biodiesel releases CO2, plants absorb and feed on the excess CO2, which in turn reduces the vapor in the atmosphere and helps us slow climate change. Additionally, biodiesel decreases automobile emissions, minimizing the dark smoke by more than half and decreasing brown haze, which contains cancer-causing agents. Benefit number 4, you're supporting renewable energy sources. UCO itself is not a renewable source, but after recycling, it can be made into a renewable source of energy, and recycling UCO increases the number of renewable energy sources on the planet, providing fuel for all types of diesel engines that can support renewable fuel: cars, trucks, trains, ships, and airplanes. And 5, UCO is an essential link in the food chain. UCO is high in saturated fat, generally a problem for you and me, but to chicken, turkeys, and other fowl, a great healthy food supplement. That used oil is blended in very specific ratios with other animal feeds and grains that make the birdies come running. This augments the rancher's food values to the animals, and they love the taste. So you're helping put healthy chicken sandwiches, fingers, and nuggets on your menus. You can look at it as the food circle chain of life. And last, your customers will appreciate you. Many restaurants market their sustainability as goodwill toward the environment and the future of the planet. Recycling used cooking oil is one sure way to make customers aware of your restaurant's commitment to such a worthy cause while you're making money doing it. So from the perspective of a facility owner or manager, recycling simply makes sense. Not only will you be providing raw materials for a wide variety of products, but you personally will play a role in ensuring that the environment remains clean for the future. And that's something we can all feel good about for generations to come. Thank you.